Onto the round table, make room for me. I'm not a guest here, I'm part of the flame. Onto the round table, say my name. Onto the round table, I've earned this place. Onto the round table, face to face. I'm not a guest here, I'm part of the flame. Onto the round table, say my name. What is up? Boom. What's up, everybody? Good morning, everybody. It's morning for me, so good morning to you. Welcome back. I am doing a little bit of struggling here, but anyway, welcome back to the channel. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. And we are going to try to finish this cover. But I've been looking at it all weekend and I have been hating this background. So I'm going to try to tweak it. And that's it, really. Add some variety. The title is up here, so I need to make sure that this is white, or at least clearer. I'm trying to reactivate some of the paint underneath to get a better transition of color here. But anyway, happy Monday. If that's a thing, if you guys celebrate Monday. What I'm trying to do is I'm using a damp brush and I'm trying to reactivate some of this paint in the background. Lightly, I don't want to pull too much up. I'll move this down a bit because I'm going to be working mostly here. If I can get this to a place that's more comfortable, then we'll keep painting. But I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you didn't lose too much money over the fights this weekend. That was trash. I didn't see it, didn't bother to. Even though I am a fan of both female fighters, but not too much a fan of the promoter. So I'm not giving him any of my money. But yeah, we're gonna end today. We're gonna start today the way we ended on Friday. We just chilling. So I appreciate you guys' company. Say hello when you pop in, and that's it. I needed to soften a bit how harsh that background was. I went too hard early. So that's it. It was either this or start a new painting. I didn't want to give up on this just yet. I feel like I
I overworked it. I know I did. I definitely feel like I did. But we'll see what happens. It became too much of a focal point, and I kind of lost everything else. I need to get a darker. A little bit of black. I'm using my Artezas over this. I think I was using mostly my Hemis, but now I'm using Arteza. I don't really have much of a preference over either of them. I have an appreciation for the Hemis because they were the first ones I bought. I definitely have to work on my blending skills here. I really do feel the texture of the paper makes a big difference. I think I can work with that transition here. I'm using a really watery consistency right now, so that I'm trying not to pull up the paints underneath right now. Now I'm just trying to have them blend a little bit better. But I put in this gray and it's muddying up everything. I need a cleaner white. Kind of winging it here, and I think that's why I feel I'm struggling, but I'm not too desperate. But we shall see. We shall see how this progresses today. Swing it, kitten. All right. We're finding a little something, a little middle ground in this mess. But again, I'm suffering from a dry room. I don't know if any of this is going to work until we take this tape out and look at everything together. And I can't seem to get all this blue off my brush. Pulling out all the colors. Give me 1 second. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. What's up, Sabo? Good morning, man. You caught me drifting. Caught me drifting. Hope you had a nice weekend, man. But like most days, we chilling, bro. See if I can get some life in this painting. Trying to find a different style in this painting today. I feel like I kind of lost my way. But it makes for a perfect time to experiment. My head is kind of filled with a bunch of different influences from stuff that I've been looking at over the weekend, and I might be suffering for it. I have a little bit of Steve Root in my head, some Fabry in my head, so I'm trying to. I think both of their styles is kind of like fighting. As I'm trying to find my own. Who knows what will happen? Oh, dude, of course, man. It was a great interview. And of course, we all appreciate the shout out. But man, I was there for you, bro. Show you some support. So of course, man, it was really cool. I might end up having to go back. Appreciate it. Go back and watch some of their previous episodes. I appreciate that, man. You know, I don't always think so, but I appreciate it. And I don't do that to be self-deprecating. I think it's a good thing that I don't always see the good, I guess, because it keeps pushing me to move forward. They give away a ton of stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely going to catch up on some of their older episodes. It was a cool watch, man. I think I'm going to have to embrace how rough this thing is going to look. I think I'm chewing up the paper underneath. But I think that it'll give it that old school, like you said, pulp eyes, those pulp covers. So I am not, the more I slap stuff on this thing, the better I feel about it. We shall see. It's the word of the day. We shall see. But dude, I'm glad your stuff's getting traction, man. I hope it stays in the ether, man. People need to go check that stuff out. Get us up there, man. Because I'm in a interesting spot creatively. I haven't had this much fun or stress. I'm drawing and painting the stuff that I always wanted to do. Now I feel like my skill level and imagination is catching up to each other. While I learn how to do this stuff. Oh, heck yeah, man. Issue 2 is going to take much longer to produce. I think I want to be inside of issue 3 by release. Yeah, you might want to give yourself some breathing room. Because I think people, once it gets out, for real, Uh, because I think the question that's gonna come out the fastest is when's the next one coming? More. And you want us tapping the vein, bro? He said side boob. You mean Tarzan side boob? I am still wondering if I should give him eyes, man. Or the impression of eyes. Wow, you got an eye and a half. That's so hilarious. Make your own. I was, I was listening to that part. I think that was shortly before I left. I heard them talking about the apron piece. Dude, if it gets popular, you know those Christmas, the 12 days of Christmas, where they open each door and it'll be open each piece of the apron. That is hilarious, though. And if you let me, I have some other ideas for some pinups, kind of in the same vein of the last one. I think I showed you some of them. If you let me, of course. I refuse to presume. As I die in the background. Oh no. Yeah, man. I don't know. Trying to emulate the smoothness of. What a weird dichotomy. The smoothness of Steve Rude and the grittiness of Fabry. if that would ever work. I'm gonna have to live with that. All right. Shake, shake, shake. What's up, Chuck? Thank you, sir, for hanging, for popping in. Watercolor by McCraw. Good morning. This is a different color palette from your usual. Yeah, it's a lot of green here. I tend to stay in the comic book range, right? RGBs. I'm going to make this lighter on the top left. My wife told me to make sure that I give Sheena wisps. Can't be having nice hair in the jungle. No tresemme there. You probably can't see that up there just yet, but that's something that I normally do for any type. If I want type of glow or shine, I just add a lot of water to the paint and spray. The one thing that I know I have to do more of, I feel, is to exaggerate the colors a bit more. I think I desaturate a lot, making my colors seem a bit muddy. I gotta fix that. She's glowing. Hey Chuck, if you are still there, thank you for that link. I haven't pulled the trigger on any of those books. I've been going way too hard on buying these comics and series. I like that color. I want to throw it over here. Definitely appreciate it. I was looking at some of Burns' stuff. His epic collection is not too bad. I think I might lose the eyes here on purpose. Adam. You gotta keep them guessing. Gotta keep you guys guessing. They are looking rough. These are not handsome heroes. They're like you and I. That looks like a stuntman in drag. It's Tommy. No, I'm kidding. This tape is coming off. The cover's holding out better than the painter's tape. Also, can we all acknowledge that Chuck didn't say that the background was muddy? He said it was okay if it's muddy, which means that it is muddy. Thank you, Chuck. Staying in check with Chuck Gibson. This whole thing is muddy, to tell you the truth. I'm okay with that. The acceptance, right, is the first part of recovery. All right, let's give him some scars here. Does Sheena get scars also? Why not? Just trying to smooth out the texture of her face. She is rough. Thank you, Link, and welcome. Good morning to you. What time is it? How long have I been on? An hour. I'll probably on for another half. I may jump on later on this afternoon. So, at any rate, I will catch you later, and I appreciate you coming through, swinging true. Also not looking at my references anymore. I think this is solid enough for me to keep following along what I have. And I don't have to be... I think all the hard shadows are where they're supposed to be. If I don't keep putting my palm over it. I think this piece, honestly, is about accepting shortcomings. My own. I don't know. I think I'm really beating myself up over this one, even though I'm having a ball doing it. If that makes even any sense. I knew it. You too, Links. Thank you very much. God bless you. You have an awesome day as well. And I'll catch you later. Party people, if you get a chance, check out Linkus Art's channel. She's an amazing oil painter, amazing artist first and foremost, and I believe she uses oil for her practice. And the stuff that she has on her channel is beautiful stuff. It's not a lot, but the quality is amazing. I went and did and watched every one of her videos, and they do not disappoint. They're amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Halfway through, I'm like, what is she doing watching my stuff? What is she doing? She's slumming, hanging out with me. But an amazing painter and artist. She did this thing there She shared a technique that she had gotten from watching mural artists called a doodle grid. We was talking the other day about using the grid system and just kind of just referring to the benefits of it and the restrictions of it. One of the reasons why I don't use it as often, but also one of the reasons why I've been using it more so lately. It's great for compositional alignment and getting proportions correct. But if you want to be a bit more freer with using a grid style method, she introduced me to something called the doodle grid. And shorthand, if the technique is if you take your canvas, or you take your canvas and you just doodle all over it, the whole page, and that becomes your grid. So what does that mean? You take a photograph of your canvas and you put it on a editing software, Photoshop, Photopea, Krita, whatever, and you put the subject that you want to paint on a different layer and a lower opacity so you can see through it. And there you go. You use that image of your canvas with all your markings on it. You use with the subject that you want to paint over it in an opacity, in a layer with a lower opacity so you can see through it and see your grid marks. And that is your landmarks. And I looked at it and said, "Oh, cool, it makes so much sense." As artists, we always get asked certain things that are outside of our range, right? Whenever somebody sees you draw something that they like, they always ask about something they like. Oh, I'm not a graffiti artist, but if they see my artwork, they'll say, "Oh, do you do graffiti?" No. Do you do murals? Nope. And I used to get that a lot. Do you do murals? Would you paint something on my wall, my daughter's wall, son's wall, my kid's wall? No, I don't do that. Because I didn't know how. And I would rack my brain going, how the hell would I be able to do that accurately? How would I draw on the wall something that I want to draw and have it look like it? It'll take some time. I think all artists will be able to do that. Just a bigger canvas, but it never dawned on me to do that. In school, we had to draw a big piece for a final, for a grade, and we used a projector. So that's what I would have done. Draw the heck out of the painting, picture, and then use a projector if I could, and then trace it on the wall. But I never thought of the how creative and how loose it would be to do a caricature or even an homage to someone using that method. It was really cool. I'm glad I showed it to everybody in my house. My daughter's an artist herself, so I'm like, you gotta see this. She thought it was super cool. So please check out her channel. Link is Arts. It's right there on the chat. And check out that video. I think it's the first one on her playlist. And then go ahead and check out every other video. And do yourself a favor and subscribe. Costs you nothing. But it means a lot to us creators. And tell them Mello sent you. Why not? The more I look at Sheena, that definitely looks like a stuntman in drag. Right before they hit action. Cut. Swap. It's really funny watching some of these old movies, these classic movies, and you can tell when it's the a dude in a wig taking the bumps for the actress. I was watching a clip on stunts on Hong Kong stunt team, the Jackie Chan stunt team, and he goes, I don't know if it was him or Sammo Hung. Anyway, I think it was Sammo Hung fighting some women, and the action happens so quickly, and you just are taken aback by it. But I started to notice something on one of the ladies in the background. It was a dude. It was a stuntman in a wig, and he stood out because he took the biggest kick to the chest, and I was like, man, that chick got wrecked. Until I looked at it a little bit closer and realized it was a guy. I can't remember. I go through some of these. Instead of doom scrolling, I end up going through these random YouTube searches. That was one of them. Stuntman, I think I was looking at Michelle Yeoh. I'm a huge fan of Michelle Yeoh. So happy for her and her career. It's funny how we kind of like the way we follow certain actors and actresses, and I just remember seeing her in those movies, in Super Cop 2 and her movies, and just being super amazed and a fan of hers, and so happy she was able to reach where she did with her Oscar, and I think that is amazing. She can hold that over Jackie. I think Jackie earned himself an honorary Oscar. She got one for acting. That's dope. No dig on Jackie, I'm just saying. What a crazy tangent I just went into. Alright, let's muck this up. She traditionally has the leopard print. I'm fighting if I want to do that. It is a beautiful day out here today. In the jungle. I can't see this right. I can live with it. Some of that. I think I would like to try one day to do a painting where it's nothing but liner and round brushes, and I paint it like I would draw it. That makes sense? No broad strokes, nothing like that. Just actually get in here and try to draw it. definitely gotta work more on color theory. There's another artist, Black Bean CMS. I don't know if you guys are aware of him. He mostly does a little bit of everything. The guy's a Renaissance man. But he does oil pastels, or paints in pastels. He's done acrylic. He's done some one gouache. But man, that kid is talented. And the way he sees color and how he builds his portraits, I wish I'm actually thinking it'll be interesting to do. He doesn't do tutorials, he just kind of like paints, and he does reviews on material. But I think it'll be really cool to watch one of his videos and see if I can follow his paint patterns when he does faces. And I wonder if it'll work with gouache. We should try it. I used to do these things called a video called Panels to Paint. I haven't done it in a while either. Well, kinda. As well as study a comic book panel from a creator or a book that I love to look at, enjoy, and study, and then copy it and paint it in my style. I guess the closest thing to that is the Wolverine cover I did recently, which I need to paint. That'll be the next thing I do here. I think you guys remember. This one here. That's the cover. That's my drawing. Do you guys say drawing or drawing? I say drawing. Drawing. Because would drawing be two W's? Draw. Unless draw has a silent W. Then why put it in there? Shouldn't it be D-R-A-H? Draw. Anyway, I draw. That's the thing, I draw. Drawing. For real, what do you guys say? Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging out to dry here. They're like, nah, man, I ain't losing it. Drawing? Is it drawing? Yeah, I don't know if I can fix the masculinity on her face. But what if I don't? Is that okay? I think it's because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it through my playback and my eyes here. There's some spots that look washed out. I need to add more contrast, which means black. But I'm curious if I want to go that hard with the black. Who knows? Who knows? You might, if you guys paint, you might need to use a separate cleanup cup when you use yellow. Yellow is so easy to ruin. I want her hair to glow. I think it's just the way her hair sits on her like a helmet. It looks like Spaceballs. Spaceballs. And I don't know if I can fix that. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I should. Or maybe I should just embrace that she's not traditionally beautiful. She still whip your ass. I guess that's all that counts. My brushes are dirty. My water's dirty is what it is. is this shadow? This one. Trying to find his face. Let me see. Where are you? All right. But I have it wrong, so I gotta use it this way. So I have to kind of put my mind on mirror mode activated, because the light source is in the opposite direction. I have my windows open, and she has the light source coming from right to left, and for me, in the opposite direction, is on her left side. So I have to kind of like cheat here, but I'm just looking at this and trying to mirror. But we don't need that much light, because there's not a lot of bounce light coming from the direction she's looking. But if we add a little bit, it'll flesh out her face. Maybe not. Maybe we don't have to do any of that. I think lightening her face did okay for me. But I want some here. And maybe an outline here. Because her face looks too broad. So maybe I can use some shadow now. Scope the face. That's a bit better. I think that her nose is too sharp. Giving it that masculine look, we may be able to angle it up, or we're just going to keep messing with it. All right. This thing looks like a hot mess. Some pieces become challenges in their own right. It's definitely one of them. Sharpen up those lines. Little texture action. I don't know if it'll add anything. I'm kind of just throwing everything in the wall now. Let's do this here. do something about his hair. And I think that'll be a good end of this session today. I'm using the Disney Tarzan hair. He had matted hair, and I liked that aesthetic, so that's kind of like what I'm going for here. And just messy. Would you guys be mad if they made a Tarzan versus Predator and he won? I'd be mad. I was reading I have a series that I had bought, Aliens versus Predator. I think it's one of the first in the series. I'm not too sure. It's definitely before the movie AVP came out. Maybe 96? I don't know. Not baddie, I think. Tighten up some lines. I think we're getting there. I'm just curious what the titling is going to be. If the I put art masking fluid over the title of the book. I'm curious what that's going to look like when I peel it off. And I'm wondering if I did light enough so that the black text would pop. So I'm going to call it right now, so I can go and take care of some chores, and I may see you guys later on today. We'll peel it off, we'll keep adding lines, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Anywho, appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I'm calling it. Let the music play me out while I clean my table. This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello, and God bless you. Love you, mean it. And until next time, I'll draw you later. Bye-bye.
on me.